This conference will now be recorded.
The time being 5:02 p.m., I'd like to call the meeting of February 7th, 2023 to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I almost sat down without my chair. First on our docket this evening is to review the warrant article on Tilton Island Preservation and Improvements Capital Reserve Fund.
So you all should have a copy of a sheet of paper that shows the current warrant article that you signed off on the other day, and a second revised article following required, which is being required by the Department of Revenue Administration. The changes that they insisted we make are to confirm the purpose of the fund and to make sure that the selectmen are named as agents to expend. I think it was in 20, what year was it?
2012, it was established, and then in 2021, the purpose was changed because the original 12 article was for a specific report, and also it was still shared with Northfield at the time.
Right. And even though we, when we did that new warrant article in 2021, which was approved by the Department of Revenue Administration, it didn't name the selectmen agents to expend, and now they're saying it does need to name them as agents to expend. So that's in essence what the changes are.
I make a motion to, Mr. Scanlon, sorry.
Was that the only thing, was mainly the only thing?
No, there are two issues. One was to confirm the purpose of the fund, and one was to name the selectmen as agents to expend, because the purpose they didn't feel like was explained well enough in our original. So if you look at the original article, it says to the Tilton Island Preservation Improvements Capital Reserve Fund previously established. Well, again, it doesn't, in the direction from DRA in their template of how you write a warrant article, it doesn't specifically tell you to spell that out. But now they want us to spell it out. So
Right.
In the second article, what you see is previously established, and then we added the language, and with a purpose which includes municipal infrastructure and related improvements as pertaining to the island and bridge.
Municipal infrastructure.
Municipal infrastructure of the island. So whether it would be lights, electrical,
Bridge or island repairs
Right.
itself. Yep.
Trees,
well, that, I don't know that, well, I suppose, but it's,
if limbs, fell,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
I make a motion to recommend Article 13 as amended.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
So the,
I was just going to say, so the next step would be to ask, because time is now of the essence with our town report, to have you sign. You have approved this, and I'll note it, but now tomorrow night it goes to the budget committee, and we're going to assume that they approve it. Whether or not they do, the warrant's still going forward. It'll just show that they didn't approve it if they didn't approve it. But rather than waiting, wanted to have you sign the back of the warrant tonight, if that's acceptable. That's all I have.
Thank you. Next piece, as we have that passed down, is just in terms of reviewing the candidates for recognitions. I know that there's been a copy of the different recognitions put in with our packets, and we were looking at the dedication of the Town Report and Community Service Award.
So if you look at the history of the dedications, they're typically, I think, they're all actually either, if they were an elected official or a employee, they are somebody who's retired. That's just been the history of it. So,
We voted on somebody last week in a meeting. And then after the meeting, we were told we couldn't have that person. But there's nothing saying that we can't have that person.
That's true, but I happen to agree with the assessment in this particular situation.
The town report doesn't come out until March 2nd. There's a handful of people that come to get the town report at the door here. About 80 to 85% of them get it after they vote at town meeting.
Jeannie, sorry, this is off this topic. Do we need to sign there too? So that we certify and attest that on blank. The original of this warrant was hand delivered to Town of Tilton Town Clerk and is posted at the Winnisquam Regional High School.
yes.
You want both sets of signatures? Okay. Can you hand that back to Pat? We need to sign that as well. I don't know. I'm stuck in terms of the dedication. Sorry, Pat, go ahead.
If you do the research, Judy Tilton was on the ballot at the time of the dedication as well. And that was in 2020. It's about service, it's about community, and it's about community service. And it's about the dedication of the number of years that they've given to our town. That's what we're celebrating. That's what we're dedicating it to. Not about politics when we dedicate an annual report. It's about who that person is and what they've done to for the town.
I'll go either way. I mean, I agree with Pat, and I agree with your assessment too. And so I'll go with the flow on this one.
I vote that we keep the name as we did last Thursday night in a meeting.
guess to be expeditious, I think that I'll throw my 2 cents in that we stay with what we had.
You will?
Yeah.
Okay. Eric?
I'm going to refrain from comment.
Do we have a consensus?
Community Service Award.
I read Pat's
Yeah.
thing. There's like a
Yeah.
typo or an extra word added in there at an odd place. Makes it sound awkward. And I don't have it right in front of me, but there's an "an" in front of a word that shouldn't have an "an" in front of it. Other than that, I mean, that's my only critique.
Well,
It's very, very good.
Yeah.
oh, no. Do we, when we first established the Community Service Award, it was for employees. That we didn't catch when we named it.
Mhm.
The issue is now, I've already gone to somebody very close to that person and gotten information to establish writing that paper. So to resolve it, we could do an employee and that person. If you want, that would be it. But looking back, when we first established that, it was the purpose at town meeting, and we read it at town meeting, the minutes, it was specifically stated employee community service award. If you want to establish that, I don't want to set a precedent that you do a person and then a resident and then a employee, because then it's way too much at town meeting. But I mean, I can't go back to that person and say, I'm sorry, we're not going to do it.
Mr. Jessman.
It seems like the award, as it was established, was an employee of the year. Because everybody that works for the town of Tilton is community oriented and does community stuff. And so it's more or less an employee of the year, for which we really haven't cited any criteria for. Lots of places do it as an employee of the month. And then from amongst the employees of the month, an employee of the year is selected. But as far as a community service award, I think that who we chose, that's an absolutely wonderful thing and totally deserving.
Yeah.
So I would like to
It's a slam dunk.
establish an employee of the year award. I'll make that as a motion.
We already, okay, good. Because it's what we established was, we said Tilton prides itself on its volunteers, its employees, and in its elected officials. In fact, one of our greatest assets is our employees. And with that in mind, the board has decided beginning in 2020 to present a community service award to an outstanding employee who goes above and beyond. That was established in 2020.
I never realized we would come to where we are
I
right
know,
now.
me either.
Right.
I totally, leaving and trying to write it, going back to look at what the wording was, realized that that's what it was that we established. So I still would like to keep the one we chose somehow and change the name or whatever. I don't care. And pick
Mr.
up
Stan.
an employee.
Yeah, John.
I think last week there was a name
Hmm.
out there for an employee. I would like to have that particular award that was traditionally to the employee go to the employee, but also the special recognition or something for that other person, which you've already contacted.
Can you write that name down, so that I know which one you're talking about? Because there was a couple.
I don't know.
Yeah. I remember it passing.
Yep,
So if we're going to go to the employee this year, I think that would be,
I agree. Yep.
and then as well as just special recognition or
So 2 community service awards, one for a resident and one for an employee this year? What, Jeannie?
That's not what he said. What he
Okay.
said was a
It's
special
hard to hear him. He doesn't
recognition.
have his mic on.
He said, oh, Jesus, Mary Joseph.
Say what now?
Go ahead.
Tim cut that.
Said,
Move right
do the
along.
one, do the, oh boy. Do the one that was just passed along for the Community Service Award, and then have the other as a special recognition Community Service Award. So,
Okay.
and I won't.
However
I
we
won't-
want to word
yeah,
it.
and
Okay.
I won't mention that name. So.
All right.
Possibly.
Who?
Tim could do some. little
Are
beeping.
we
Try.
Try,
Are we
please.
all
Thank-
set with the wording on the one that we wrote up?
Yeah, I thought it was fantastic.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, so we're good with that one. We just need someone that's going to write up the other one.
And the other thing was, I had submitted, I tweaked it a little bit in the thing to go in the report. We aren't actually picking anybody, but for the Exemplary Youth Service Award, for that to go out, I mean, it could be tweaked again next year, but it's just announcing that next year we would be recognizing a youth up to the age of 25. So you get carded.
Yeah, so we're
So-
going to do a youth one.
I
Yeah.
got that. Did you get the Energy Committee one, Jeannie? That I sent in?
Was it, that
Report.
was like a, was it like a paragraph?
Yeah, it was a quick report in the Energy Committee.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure that. And the other one was, now Eric said on last week that he was going to take care of the one, the memorial. Is that right here? And he said that,
No,
that
is
he would go over to Bill Lawrence. He was off the next day and he would talk to him.
that the way you remember it?
I don't recall. I don't recall that
Oh,
portion.
Yeah, I mean, I would have done, but he insisted that he had the day off
oh, okay.
and that he was going over to Bill Lawrence to talk to him to get the information from the memorial service.
I don't recall.
I'll
I don't recall it
message
that
him
way,
after
but-
this. If someone can get me just some of the basic information on the person on the slip, in terms of tenure, et cetera, I can take a crack at that, and I'll do it quickly. I'll get it turned around and have it back here. They'll have it in tomorrow. So,
Just get that. We get that from Gail.
yeah, okay. I'll ask her.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think we just do that for Gail.
Last one is, last piece is to look at is to discuss once and finalize sort of the plan for the moderator for candidates forum. As we addressed in the last, the concern on the last is that our town moderator is directly related to one of the candidates, and that just came up as a concern in terms of, obviously the optics of it and how it would look. I think we all know that our town moderator, Helen Hanks, is phenomenal and is just extremely professional at her job. But the question came up is in terms of having a direct relationship to one of the candidates, if we should look for an alternative. So thoughts from the board?
I
first.
have no doubts about Helen Hanks or her integrity. I've been knowing Helen Hanks a long time, and she conducts herself in an exemplary manner in any situation I have ever found her in. And I believe that she would do an admirable job as the moderator of this candidate's night. if she were willing to do it. Just my own personal feeling.
Comment from the public.
I ditto what Joe said.
I'm here as assistant, one of the assistant moderators. I was under the impression that Helen was asked and didn't want to do it, but I spoke to her today. I caught up with her today, and I just asked her if she was doing the candidates night, and she said that she was quite comfortable
Okay.
doing the candidates night.
Okay.
I think she would be an awesome selection. I think that it
Absolutely.
doesn't matter in her integrity and how she does things that it's her mom. Some people won't even know it's her mother. You know, I mean, I don't think it's an issue. I know she wants to do it. She sent me a text and asked me to please share that with all of you.
Okay. I probably figure that Helen will probably grill her mother more than the rest of the candidates.
Oh, you don't
no-
know.
I have
knowing
no doubt
Helen.
that she will be fair and equitable in all of her questions and how she treats every candidate.
Mm-hmm.
So are we in consensus that a town moderator should moderate?
I just want
I
to be clear
believe,
about
yes.
something.
Mhm.
I did not ask anyone because I follow the direction of this board, and this board did not give me the authority to do that. So I want to be clear about that.
Noted. So noted.
Well, I'm guessing she would assume that she would be asked to do it, or
Pretty
that
much,
there would be this discussion.
pretty much, it's always been, kind of
Is it public
counting.
knowledge that you're having one?
But
Yeah.
we haven't
Maybe up
picked the
to
So
date.
her.
she might not know that yet.
We haven't decided what we were going to do, which is why it's on tonight's.
But why were we thinking about other people then? If we
The
weren't thinking about
perception, what would we do if
Last
Helen
week.
turned it down? Just as a for instance.
So the date on that, I had sent out an email. There was a reason why I didn't discuss that date when I was there.
What date?
The 21st or the 28th, or the 23rd and 28th. A previous engagement that was made back in October that's unreversible on the 23rd.
I'm fine with the 28th.
Should it
PD was open
be
that
February
night.
on this? Because I'm just looking at our agenda tonight, and it says March. That should be February, shouldn't it?
What?
Yeah. Okay. Just
On yours?
on the agenda, it's I had.
On your
Yep. Okay.
cheat sheet?
Yep.
So what night are we picking?
Abe
And
was
what
going to
time?
get back. I think Abe was going to get back to
He had
availability.
he had no conflict on either night.
So it comes back to us.
Check.
We have executive committee that night.
I'm open either.
We'll be here.
Yeah.
Either way.
I'll be here for either. Excuse me.
I make a motion that we make it on the Tuesday, the 28th at 7 p.m.
Second?
Motion and a second discussion.
Are we gonna do school board and all that, or no?
I thought
I don't-
school board's separate entity, isn't it? Yeah.
Well,
We've
fire
invited
was
them
too, but
before.
we've invited fire, but I don't think we should.
Think
My personal
Makes for a
feeling.
long, it makes for a long
They
night.
can have their own.
Yeah.
2 hours.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. February 28th, 7 PM for the candidates forum. Anything else for this evening? Thank everyone for being, yes, Mr. Jessman,
Motion to adjourn.
second. Motion and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I would.